Hey, you guys, if you aren't aware, we do have a podcast which is called Nicole Social Hub. It's basically a podcast for content creators and media business owners. If that sounds like you want to become a content creator or what it takes to run a media business, then you came to the right place. So please make sure you listen and tune into our podcast. We just posted a full podcast on how to become a content creator for social media. This is a full business guide to becoming that content creator. It is a series as well on becoming that content creator series. So please make sure you tune in, you listen into our podcast episode. You don't want to miss out. So please, the links to our podcast will be in the links below if you're trying to become a content creator in 2026. With that being said, let's jump right into today's YouTube video. All right. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's YouTube video is how to put your podcast on Apple Podcasts and other different streaming platforms. So if you're interested in learning how to put your podcast on different streaming platforms, then this is the YouTube video for you. And if you haven't already, please make sure you click that subscribe button. That's help our channel to grow. And I'm actually super excited for this video. So yeah, I just wanted to do a mini quick voiceover right here because I just didn't like how I introduced the video in the beginning. So yeah. All right, let's get into today's YouTube video. All right. Like the bigger YouTube creators, they won't show you this. You would have to actually like pay for this. But I'm here to show you how to do it because I researched a lot of videos trying to put my podcast together, what equipment to use, how to start a podcast. I was just so overwhelmed with so much information. So this is why I'm doing like these videos so that you can know like basically how to really put your podcast together too. So I do have a podcast episode giving you my full detail on how to start a podcast. So if you're interested in becoming a podcaster this year, then I do have that podcast episode. I'll link it in the description box. But yeah, this is for those who are already creating podcast episodes and they want to learn how to really like market their podcast. So Apple Podcasts is basically where it's like a social media it's like a social media page for podcasters. So I'm going to show you how you can not only just put your podcast on Apple Podcasts, but other streaming platforms. So Apple Podcasts is a streaming platform where you can put your podcast on there. So with that being said, let's get to it. So we're going to do this together. This is just like I'm not going to say a fake podcast, but this is like an example podcast that I made. I didn't record any podcast episodes on here, but I think I am. So yeah, so the reason why I came up with Get It Together podcast is because like is going to be this. I wanted this podcast to be just for mental health and like mental health, spiritual, like more so self-care and just like getting myself together. This what this podcast was going to be about, like basically how I'm getting myself together and just little things that I'm doing that helps me mentally. And if you're in like a situation like mine, how to deal with it, just all different things. So yeah, so with that being said, let's put our podcast on Apple Podcasts. So we are on the homepage of Spotify. I have a lot of tutorials on my YouTube channel on how to set up your Spotify account, how to, I did a full tour on a Spotify. So if you need more information, I'll link that video in the description box below as well. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to settings. From our tabs over here, we're going to go to settings. And if you haven't watched that tutorial, Spotify tour guide, that will definitely help you to learn how to use the Spotify platform. So yeah, so we are on our settings page. So in this tab, you have about, availability, and team. Now we're going to click on team, but as you can see here, when you apply for your account, you have to put your show name, a description of what your podcast is about. And basically, I just put a little, like, instead of putting my creator name here, I just put keywords that will help me for, SEO and to optimize my podcast. So to, help it grow. So I just put don't struggle with mental health alone. And then I just have my podcast cover. I do have a YouTube video on how I made this podcast cover as well. If you want to learn how to make that podcast cover, I do have a tutorial on that. I'm just giving you a little tour and overview, a tour of like this section here. So then here you have the category of what your podcast is about. So you could choose so many different categories. Choosing the category will help your podcast to put you in, where your audience is. So definitely put a category. I just use English because that's the language I speak in. And over here, I really don't mess with anything over here. I just leave it as set. And down here is where they give you your own podcast link. I guess this is my link, Self-Care, Faith, and Business 7, I guess. However, and you can plug in your website, you can plug in your Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I need to do that for my other podcast, so please remind me in this video to do it, but I'm going to do it in the other video too. So yeah. All right, so now let's go to the availability tab. So from this settings, from the tabs here, you click on settings, and then the next thing you're going to do is click on availability. So now here is the links for your Spotify, the Spotify link for Spotify and Spotify for creators. I guess that's two different links. You could use both of them if you want. It doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. And it says your show is already available on Spotify. To make your show available on other podcast listening apps, turn on your RSS distribution. So we're going to click enable. This is going to help turn on our RSS feed, our RSS distribution. Basically, this is how your podcast will be put on different streaming platforms. So we about to go on that. And if you have an email, please make sure you add your email. So I'm going to just click on add. After I click on add, I'm going to click up update, and it's updated, I guess. And you could just read the frequently asked questions over here. So basically, what does my RSS feed do? Your RSS feed allows your show to appear in other podcast apps, in some cases automatically. This feed is public and contains your email address. How do I distribute my podcast elsewhere? Use your RSS feed to submit your podcast to other platforms. Specific instructions are available in the drop downs below for each platform. Now it says, can I distribute my video episodes with RSS? Your videos are only available on Spotify. However, if you turn on your RSS distribution, will automatically create audio versions of your video episodes and make them available on the podcast listening platforms you choose to distribute to. Okay, I didn't know that, but that's a good thing. So basically, they'll automatically turn your video into audio versions, or create audio versions of your video episodes. So that's cool. So I like that. So if you're creating video content in the Spotify platform, they'll automatically create audio versions of that. So that's good to know. All right, so here are all the streaming platforms that you could put your podcast on. Me personally, I just do Apple Podcasts because that is what I'm familiar with. That is what I know. You have Amazon Music. You have all these different ones. So we're just going to click the arrow of Apple Podcasts, and we're going to, it says to submit Apple Podcasts, use Apple Podcasts Connect. So we're going to click on Apple Podcasts Connect. Okay, so now we're here. So this is my podcast that I already have. This is like my main podcast this is my business podcast. So once you click on here, all the episodes will, come up on here. Now, I don't know whether you can have, I think you can have more than one show, but I'm going to click on existing show. More actions. We're going to click on claim existing show. So it says paste the show's Apple Podcast URL below. You can copy the URL by going to the show in Apple Podcasts, clicking the dots button and selecting copy and select copy link depending on the show status. Some shows are not eligible to be claimed. So you can click on you can click on the plus sign right here. You could add your show right here. So up the top right here, this plus sign, you're gonna click on this purple plus sign and you're gonna click on new. I don't want to. What's the difference between a new show and a new channel and a new show? Well, this is a channel, so I'm guessing we're gonna click on new show. So it says you can publish a show on Apple Podcasts with or without an RSS feed. So the first step is to pick the type of show you want to distribute. Note that you'll be able to add paid subscriber audio to either kind of show. It says add a show with RSS feed. Your show will be available on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you distribute your RSS feed. This is the best option if you want to manage episodes through your podcasting hosting provider. Add a show without an RSS feed. Your show will be only available on Apple Podcasts. This is the best option if you want to manage episodes in Apple Podcasts Connect and offer a subscription. So hold on. So let's see what new channel is. When you create a channel, you can group multiple shows together and offer your listeners a channel subscription. To get started, give your channel a name. Let's see. I'm just gonna try. This is my first time in a long time adding a show, so yeah. So let's put that on there. It says create and see. Oh, it's doing that. Okay. So we don't need to do that. All right. So let's back up. So we're going to click this plus sign and we're going to click on new show, not new channel, new show. So we're going to click on new show and we already have our RSS feed. So next thing is we're going to click on next. Now we're going to copy and paste our RSS feed URL. So we're going to go to our Spotify, which is where we host our Spotify at, and we're going to get our RSS feed. So if you scroll back up or scroll right here, so it says where it says RSS distribution, you're going to click the copy button. So it says copied. Now we're going to go back and we're going to add that. So we're going to click paste. We're going to go, I just copy and paste and I just paste it on there. Now we're going to click on add. Now it's processing. So now we just added our podcast show right on Apple Podcasts. So now the show details, it says we're still processing your show details. Check back later and then click publish. So with it usually tell you how long it takes for your show to be published, but I'm going to let you know. So it do take about 24 to 70. It takes about 2 to 3 days for your show to be published on Apple Podcasts, I believe. So it may have been a little bit faster, but I think that's, it does take some time for your show to be published to your podcast. And then after that, you'll have your show and your episodes will come up here, and yeah, you'll be here. So, and how you'll come back is you just make sure that you're in the right podcast. The right podcast show, and you'll just you'll always come down here. So I'm going to show you again. So from the home page here, because I know this was something like I was struggling with how to find it. So but I just wanted to show you an easy way, and it is some tutorials that will help you too, but I just wanted to show you my way on how to do it. So you're already on the home page of Spotify. Like I mentioned before, I do have a YouTube video showing you how you can apply for your podcast on Spotify. Not apply, but how to start your podcast on Spotify, how to set it up. And then I gave you a full tour of the Spotify as well. I'll link all of those videos about podcasting and show notes below. I mean, in the description box below. So yeah, okay, so we're on the home page of Spotify. The next thing we're going to do is from the home page, we're going to click on the settings tab from the home page. So once you're there, you don't have to look. You could just, this is just an overview of what your podcast show is about. Now you're going to click on availability from these tabs up here. You're going to click on availability. Now you're on the availability tab. This is your links for your Spotify show. Now your RSS feed is here. Is already they already automatically created a RSS feed. Once you create a Spotify show, you will automatically get a RSS feed distribution link. This will help you to have your channel, how you have your podcast on different streaming platforms. So now you're going to scroll down, and from there, you're going to click on the streaming platform that you want. These are the ones that are here, but you're going to click on the ones that you want. You're going to click on Apple Podcasts. That's the one that I use, but if you are familiar with these other streaming platforms, go right ahead and plug them in. I'm just showing you how to do it. So from here, this is where you'll check to see if your show has been published. You'll click Apple Podcasts Connect link from here. So you'll go to the streaming platform that you want your podcast to be on. Mine is Apple Podcasts. And with Apple Podcasts, they come, your viewers, your audience can listen from their Apple computer or Apple phone. Most times, you know, when you have your podcast show on, if you're using, oh, it's already published. My other podcast episode is published, so I'm about to listen to that. Wow, I just want to see. I'm going to listen to it while I'm about to after I'm finished this. I'm about to listen to this podcast while I clean up and stuff. But yeah, what I was saying, oh yeah, so this will automatically show up on your podcast. Matter of fact, I don't want to screen record this. I want to let me just show you. So I'm just going to show you what it looked like on an Apple device if you don't know what it would look like on an Apple device. So I'm just going to send this to sites. You're going to click on Apple Podcasts. This is one I use, and you're going to click on the Apple Podcasts Connect link. And once you click that link, you'll be sent here, and your show will come up here. So once you hold on, because I'm going too fast. So I already have one published on Spotify. So I'll show you what it looked like in a minute. So right here, this is where your other podcast will be. So you'll click on that one, and it will show you. It would be a box here that says your podcast has been published. But right now we're still processing your show. Check back later and check and see if it has been published. So this is your podcast. This is how you will podcast. This is how you will have your podcast on your show on Apple Podcasts. So now let's go on my main podcast, and this is where it will look once your podcast show has been published. You'll see that it has a green check next to it that says show information. Next to it says published, and this is you could come here and see your RSS feed. You can edit it if you want, but I don't really mess with it. Once it's published like this, I really don't mess with it. I just look at it sometimes. Just I just take a look at it sometimes from time to time. And here is where your show, it'll show you all the details here. Your channel, the type, the update frequency, all of that will be on there. And yeah, this is where my show has been published, and this is your podcast art. All of that will be here. And yeah, so this is how you publish your show. And yeah, you can see the availability of your show here. You can look through here. This is where you have your subscriptions here, and your audience. All this information will be up here. And the reason I think that it wasn't working is because I didn't get the requirements yet. And then you have ratings and views. This will show up here. I just started this new podcast here, so That's why everything I'm starting over, and like that's why everything is just not here or don't have no analytics or information here so far, because I just started posting again here. So yeah, in analytics you could check here. You can click on here. This show doesn't have enough data to display analytics. That's what's going to come up. So when you post some podcast episodes, it's important to be consistent so that you post, and then you can start getting analytics, and then you can start going to see what kind of content that they like more, what episodes that did better than the other, or however it'll come up here. And then you have a count up here. I don't mess with none of this stuff. They have business. I don't know what business is. Oh yeah, you can add your like legal information here if you want, like all the legal paperwork here. But that's further down in the line. If you have an LLC, you can add that there. All your information here, so that basically if you do start getting paid from podcasts and you have an LLC, I will recommend you to put all your business admin stuff here. Like if you have an LLC and you about to start getting paid from podcasts, I will put that all in your LLC to set that up, so that you can go ahead and get a business bank account and start building your credit, business credit, stuff like that, and starting once you get paid from podcasts, you have a business bank account, you could use that and then apply for a business credit card, and whatever income that you make from your podcast, you could start putting that income on your business credit card. And now you have a business bank account and a business credit card, and that will help you to build your income. And then once you can get qualified for grants and loans, and then from there, if you want to open whatever you want to do with that credit business line of credit, you can do whatever you want to do. But then you can add your legal entity once you start getting paid from podcasts. You don't have to do it right now, but once you start getting income from podcasts, I would definitely just put it right in the LLC. It's so much better, and it's so much better than versus putting in your personal account. Now you're like what I've learned too is like when you are like you don't want to have your personal and your business on the same account, because when it comes down to getting loans and different stuff, they don't want to see that you shop from Chick-fil-A, or that you went shopping at the mall, or you went this and you did that and you did this and you did that. They don't want to see that. They want to see business only transactions. So your business transactions will be your income from your podcast, or you bought equipment for your business, or you did this for your business. They want to see all business transactions, and knowing that you really have a flowing business bank account too, because that's important too. So yeah, I'm not no legal business guru. If you want a podcast about just like legal stuff, because I'm not gonna say I don't know a lot of things, because I do. I did go to business school, so this is what I've always been interested in business. I've always been interested in being an entrepreneur. I've always seen myself as a business owner, and I went to school for business. I'll make a podcast episode about it, but basically I went to school for business and administration, and then from there I received an internship where I was working at a law firm, and I was helping people with a lot of things. But my main area at that law firm is they help nonprofit organizations and businesses, and I was the one to help file their paperwork, which is their 501c3 that they need to basically that paperwork is what they need to have in order to open up a nonprofit organization or business nonprofit organization and business. They're not a nonprofit. Yeah, they are a nonprofit organization for those who need lawyers with, like, they handle tangled deeds. They handle if you have a record, they'll expunge your record. Like, they have different lawyers for different things, and I really did enjoy it at the time, but I couldn't really focus at that time because I was pregnant. I was having my son, and I had so much going on. I was going through a breakup while I was pregnant, and then I was going through a big friendship breakup blowout in that time. That was a couple, this just almost It's been a long time, a couple of years ago, way more than over 2 years ago. It's been a couple of years ago. But yeah, I couldn't really focus, and then it's a lot that happened, but more so, I was working in a law firm, and basically, I was doing just doing a lot of just business things at that internship, and I really had fun working with a lot of lawyers, and just different things. And I've learned how, I learned like good lawyers and bad lawyers, crooked lawyers, how they be bending the law to get to get there. Like I've heard stories where billionaires, not billionaires, but like people that have power and money and stuff, and how they get these crooked lawyers to do different stuff. And I mean, not saying, I just learned like good and bad in there too. So I learned a lot of things about good lawyers, and why you definitely, like, if you're doing a business down the line, you definitely need a lawyer, or even a family lawyer too, as well. So always have a little celebration, and they gave me a baby shower. They gave me a baby shower. They gave me a whole baby shower in there. They gave me like gifts and stuff. Like, oh my goodness, I felt so much love, because outside of my family, like, I really was feeling like I was crazy, and like I felt like, I'm like, is this like it was just so crazy. So yeah, they gave me like, they showed me so much love. So since they showed me so much love, I always, when I had my food stamps, because I had hella food stamps back then, so I would make sure I would restock their all the coffee, or all the little different stuff. And because they did that for me. They threw a baby shower, and they gave me money. Like, even I was getting paid at the time too, because I was an intern. I was a paid intern. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was a good income then while I was going to school too. So um yeah, so I would restock their stuff, or sometimes I would just get my boss some coffee sometimes, or not coffee, but like whatever he liked. I would go ahead and get that. Like, my boss set that up too. He was like I don't know, he was like a Indian type, like, I don't know, but he just helped a lot. Like, that whole thing, they love, oh my gosh, they loved me so much. Like, it was so, I started crying at the baby shower too, and now it's just getting back to me. I was all crying and stuff. Like, I was so emotional, because because I wasn't expecting it. Like, when I came to work that day or whatever, and it was like, surprise, and I'm like, surprise. I'm looking at all the stuff and baby shower stuff, and I got so emotional. I started crying and stuff. And yeah, it was such a hard time for me to, like, and for them to, because I didn't have a baby shower. They the only ones, like, that gave me a baby shower. Like, my family didn't give me no baby shower or nothing, or however. So I just, and they gave me a prepaid card, and they was like, yeah, make sure you get this for the baby, and this and that. And one of my supervisors, I used to keep up with her, but all this stuff just started happening. But she the one that helped me get in that intern, and then she became my boss, my supervisor on there. And her name was Christina, and I'll just never forget her. What's her name? Yeah, her name was Christina on there. And she helped me so much, like, just networking, and just saying like, oh yeah, well, Nicole is good set for this, and like, in that internship, you get like little job, like, not little jobs, but like projects, little different stuff. And she will always put me on to different like jobs in there and stuff, and projects and stuff. Like, oh, Nicole, yeah, she's good for this, she's good for that. I'm like, oh, she put me on. So yeah, I was just so emotional. And I just, like, when I walked in there and they had that baby shower, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, they like made me feel so good. So yeah, I felt like that was God. Like, that really was God at that time. And um my one of my other supervisors, she gave me like full boxes of clothes for my baby, like brand new, like, not no ran down like, it was all these clothes from zero to, like, I like it was just like, I'm not gonna say I missed that era, but they poured so much into me. So when they did that, I just started restocking their stuff. I just started putting, snacks on their desk and stuff just to show my appreciation. It wasn't a lot, but they was like, oh, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just thinking about them. Like, if I see them with their favorite snack, I'm like, oh, all right, this is what they eat all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and get that or whatever. And I did. And then, yeah. And then, yeah, I was taken care of the whole time when I was pregnant and stuff, and I just love that law firm. Like, I just met a lot of good people. I met a lot of good interns too, and they was just telling me like different legal forms that you may need if you want to do this and that, whatever. If you opening up a brick and mortar, or if if you need help, they was just it's a good law firm too. So I always, and still to this day, if anybody need like fun, like if they need help with rental assistance or whatever, housing, whatever, I always send them to that law firm, and a lot of people got help. Like, but I was just basically on the team where I help nonprofit organizations start their business, and I help fill out the paperwork and their 501(c) paperwork. And yeah, I had fun. And then I just had fun just doing that. And I was just on the operations team, basically, meaning like just operating a full business. So, and I didn't know, like, that right there is so important, because if you don't have a good like system on how you do things in your business, is not going to work. Like, you can have the sales, you could be getting money in your account, but if you don't know how to manage and operate your business, I'm telling you, that's so important. That's something I really learned, and I just took that with me throughout my my business journey and stuff too. So yeah, they really love me, like, and I was working full time too. I wound up getting fired because I felt I was about 8 months. Then I was 8 months. I was about 8 to 9 months there. I was almost close to having my son at the time too. And I wound up getting fired from that job because I fell asleep. My supervisor actually watched me sleep on the shift, like. And after the shift was over, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I was so tired. I got off at 11. I was so tired. I was doing 3 to 11, Monday through Friday, every other weekend. And then like my day used to be going to school from 8:30 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. I would hurry up, get off of work, get out of school. I would go ahead, catch the train, then go, get in my car, drive all the way out. At that time, I was living with I don't know why I'm explaining all this, but I was living with my kid's father, and we was working together or whatever. Like, he had his own job, I had mine or whatever. And then I would go to, after 2:00, after that hour I took that hour, I had to go to work. And then I got there at 3:00, 3 to 11, every day, Monday through Friday. I was on the clock, and I'd be so tired because I was pregnant. I was big. Like, my coworkers was helping. I'm like, please, can you do her for me, because I'm so tired? Or I will only do the ones that's easy for me, because I was big as hell. Like, my stomach was so big. Like, oh my gosh, he made me feel fat. All I wanted to do was eat all the time. Like, he had me eating burgers and steak, and like, I just wanted slushies all the time. I just wanted food. Like, it was just so, like, he had me always hungry. Like, oh my gosh, like, I was so fat and like, but anyway, yeah, I was always, we was always seeing me with somebody food. I was just always eating food. But yeah, after that, I guess I'm making a podcast, I guess. But after that, yeah, I always ask my coworkers, like, can you just take the hard ones for me, and I just do the easy ones, the ones that I was working at. Oh yeah, by the way, I was working as a aide, like a CNA, but I wasn't a CNA. But basically, I was working as a CNA, and I will always have the easy patients, the ones that already know how to do their ADLs, like already know how to wash their face, brush their teeth, get up, get dressed, whatever. Or if they need help with laundry or like a little bit of stuff, I'll do that or whatever. So yeah, I was working 3 to 11, Monday through Friday. Good income. Checks was, and if you need a job, I would definitely say get a residential, like assisted living. I was working in the assisted living job. And yeah, they make so much good money. Like the checks be so nice. The checks are so lovely. So yeah, I was doing that, and then I was pregnant, and then I didn't even know I was that tired because I literally just got off of work, and I just literally got out of school, and I went to school Monday through Friday. And I said, something told me not to sit down. I said, if I sit down, I know I'm gonna go to sleep. Man, I wake up. I did my work, but I forgot to do my rounds. And once I sat down, it was over with. So it was past a couple of minutes after 11, and yeah, I went back the next day, or whatever my shift was. And it was like, yeah, you fired or whatever. So, because I was so tired. And after that, I just saved my check, and I took care of my baby with that. And yeah, now I'm just here where, like, like, I'm just I'm just here. So that's just my backstory. But yeah, more so, this is how you, I don't even know how I got on that topic, but this is how you apply to Apple Podcasts. And when you go to podcasts, click on podcasts in your show. Oh yes, my show is already here. So let me see. Hey. So my show is already here. It's already published. So you'll see how it was before, where it said it had that box where it wasn't published. Now the podcast is published on the Apple Podcast. So that's how you do it. This is where your podcast show will be at. And yeah. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna click on publish. Make sure you show or screen record of show that photo that we just sent and how it would look on like any Apple devices. So really quick, I'm going to show you how it would look on Apple Podcasts. So if you go here, this is our other show, which is Nicole Social Hub, our podcast. Please, if I'm going to link our podcast show here in the description so you can, listen to our show, all things business, however. But now let's look at our other show. I think it's called Get It Together podcast, I think. Get it together. Oh, I like this one. You see, it's so cute. It's so cute and dainty, but that's not our podcast. I think it does take a minute for us to have it. This is really cute. Let me see what this podcast is about real quick. Did We Get It Together? Season 1 wrap up. A guide to manifestation. No ASCII, no GUDIE. Oh, I like this one. It's so cute. But that's not what I came here for. All right, so how can you, we don't have no episodes so far. Oh, we do. Okay. It's just a trailer though. But I don't know why I can't see it. Oh shoot. I don't know why I can't see it on the device itself. Let's see. It's not on here. Where is it? I don't know. I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. Let's see. Maybe because it don't have no I don't see it. These are some good Get It Together, boss. I like this. Let's see. How to quit a job. Oh, nobody. I'm not into quitting. No, I'm not. I would never tell you to quit your job. I would never tell you to do that. You won't ever hear me say that ever. Like for whatever reason, I don't know. It's not showing up here, but eventually it will show up here. I think it is taking some time for it to show up here, but yeah, it's not on here yet, but it will. It will show up. So we can click on see all and see too, because sometimes it could be just. I don't know. I don't see it, but let me see. Yeah, I don't see it, but I don't see it on here, but um that's how you do it. That's how it will show up though. Like here is the podcast like from your computer if you're using Apple. However, I'm not sure when it comes to other ones like Android or like other ones, but this is how it would show up, and this is your show. This is how your show come up here, and your episodes will be here. Um, so yeah, it's just a trailer on here. If you want to listen to the trailer, uh, you can listen to the trailer. My podcast, I'll link both of the podcasts down so you could just get a feel for it here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video and just learning a little bit about like podcasting, just learning how to put your show together, and just a little bit of background of my like just a little personal background of you know my business journey and like my schooling and stuff like that. So yeah, I just show you as I go along. So yeah, and this crazy part is I threw all my business books out. I don't know why I did that, but yeah. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It does help my channel to grow, and stay tuned for the next podcast. I missed not podcast. Stay tuned for another YouTube video from us. So yeah, and if you haven't already, please, we just uploaded a podcast episode. I'm gonna go to podcast real quick. We just uploaded see, it look different on here. See, you see how, hold on, you see how, oh, we can go to podcast, but see how it looked different. It look a little different on here. Hold on, let me go back here real quick. You see it says shows and episodes, but when I go to here, it don't say that. That's so weird. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Like, what I'm saying is, like, you see, get it together. You see how it says shows and episodes? But for the other one, it don't say that. I don't know why that is. But we're gonna go in here. See, I don't know what is, I don't know. That's so weird to me. It's weird. But yeah, your show will be right here, and all right, so let me go in here real quick. So we just uploaded a podcast episode on here too. Is it the right one? Okay, so we just gonna go here. So this is Spotify, but we just basically go here, and this is all about how to become a content creator for social media, full business guide to becoming that content creator. So if you're interested in learning how to become a content creator, please make sure you watch that episode. Oh, somebody already started listening to it. So, and the reason why I say that you want your podcast on, for me, for Apple Podcasts, is because once you post a podcast, it goes directly and automatically to your Apple devices, to your email, to any Apple devices. It goes right there, so you could see it. You could actually see. You could see. So yeah. So you could see an ideal like how it would look on the the Apple device and stuff too. So yeah, please make sure you click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all till next time. All right, later.